in this abyss of self-misunderstanding, or you find your identity independent of it. You draw your own box. And that's Dodgers Mergan. It says you make a choice. Continue living your life feeling muddled in an abyss of self-misunderstanding, or you find your identity independent of it. You draw your own box. Yeah. And our African proverb says there's no beauty but the beauty of action. This says too much talk, 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 talk. You must work, Dennise. You must work.
Exactly. We do too much talking.
More than how we work. And so that's it this morning. We take our contacts, a few of our contacts, by the way, this morning. And then we start up with our major talking points. Has released a statement, and we'll be reading that statement for you, as well as all of what occurred on yesterday. We'll also be telling you more about that. And then this thing about the Unity Party vice standard bearer pick is an issue of debate, and so we will look into that as well this morning. So keep tuned right here on the Morning Breeze this morning. Let's take a brief bass of our theme song. When we come back, we'll join our correspondents. Okay, welcome back to the program this morning, the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And this is where you will get the best when it comes to informative programming right here on your radio. Our man Samuel Bole is in Lofa County, and we are told, you remember some time ago we reported that the district education officer had been changed. And so there's been discontentment in the district regarding his change. And so Samuel Bole is on the line there from Lofa County. Let's join him. Samuel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Let me say good morning to our entire listeners.
Now, tell us, give us detail about this discontentment among citizens regarding the removal of the district education officer.
Yeah, well, you got it right when it comes to that aspect where we communicate with souls of civil servants across the various ministries in Kolaham district. They are saying, why this is not the best way to remove the TU, and others describe it as political. And what they are saying that send the appointment of the TU 2021 to this present movement. He has been carrying on more development aspect where they talk about the dormitory, the renovation of the girls' dormitory in Kolaham through his advocacies. About 50 volunteer teachers were employed, and also the construction of the multi-purpose building that is ongoing in the education name. They are saying some of those things, it is not good for the DO to be removed, and they are saying any attempt for the government to come and appoint any DOC resident, they're going to resist and they're not going to work with that privacy. But again, the commissioner of Kolaham district today called upon the civil servants and said, well, this is not the only time the DO have been removed in Kolaham, and he said he was not dismissed. But matter of fact, he was called to Gomorovia. Who knows, they can appoint him as other different G or who know they can even send him for scholarship. But matter of fact, citizens should not come out to protest. Who knows, the president coming will be somebody that will even do more than what he was doing. He is saying that matter of fact, all of them should remain calm. But again, citizens resist and say, matter of fact, if we, the Ministry of Education cannot reappoint Jeremiah Massaquoi, seriously, they will not be able to work with that president. And we are waiting to hear from them now because we communicated with the new TU that was appointed, Madam Princess Momoru, and she revealed that Thursday she's going to be in Kolahu to see how she can identify with her teachers.
Okay, so where is the DEO that? What's his name, by the way, and where is he now?
Well, he is Jeremiah Massaquoi, and he is currently in Kolahu. He still remains in Kolahu because, according to him, the letter stated that he should be in Kolahu up to the 15 and the 15 million today report to Morovia. And again, he revealed that because he may be carrying his last name, Massaquoi, and the district number 3 representative, Karen Massaquoi, who is the current lawmaker and who is the supporters of Unity Party. And he said, well, matter of fact, it's not about that. He remained as a DO and he deemed it necessary to remain independent to see how he could not attend to any other political call, either Unity Party or CDC.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there any other thing we need to know from Lofa County?
Yeah, finally, the district material lawmaker Massaquoi makes some clarity when it comes to the current issue that is ongoing, a Kahahado project, which the construction of the pool is already going now, and almost 70% of
you mean the electricity project?
Yeah, the electricity project. He made some clarity on the where regional councillor Joseph Patojara and other sons dedicated and said, well, the project is from the CDC government. He said, well, matter of fact, he commended the CDC government for doing the continuation of the project, but the money was secured and the project, everything was run after the Unity Party project. It was Unity Party that started the initiation, and also he was able to rescue the money, 27 million, and now CDC could not be able to even obtain 1 million to add up. For matter of fact, they are implementing it. You might appreciate it for that. But if they are talking about the project, they should be commending the Unity Party than just saying the project is for the CDC.
Now, you are a journalist in the county. What has your independent investigation established?
Well, when it comes to the investigation, we communicated with the Rural Renewable Energy Director. He revealed to us that, well, matter of fact, the project started 2016. He don't want to engage in politics to say who is it, but the project started in 2016, and he said it is not being the hardware. It's not like something that you just go in the market and purchase it. Matter of fact, how to make the
the network. Okay, we have to let Samuel go. The network is a problem this morning, but it's okay. Let's get to Lofa County now and talk to Prince Wamplu. Prince Wamplu, we are told that the representative in District Number 2, Grand Bassa County, Mary Kawa's brother, has given his support to a representative hopeful in the district, meaning he's not supporting his sister. Let's find out from Prince Wamplu what could be the reason behind this decision, as it is a common thing for family members to support one another in electioneering processes. Let's get to Prince Wamplu quickly and find out from him the detail of this story this morning. This is the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. Good morning, Prince. Welcome to the Morning Breeze.
Good morning, Fidel, and good morning to your co-host.
Now, tell us exactly what is going on in District Number 2.
Well, so thank you. In electoral District Number 2, where Representative Mary Kawa is the representative of that district, over the weekend, there was a program organized, a petitions program organized by residents of Kadwa Town in Gigban, the Gigban terrain, electoral district number 2. For the matter of fact, electoral district number 2 is the largest land space district for Grand Bassa County. It has a connection as well to Nima County. It's a full rich district. So, Representative Mary Kawa, brother John Gadwa, finally left the side of his sister, Territon Bay, Representative Bay, and pledged support with followers to Superintendent Janje Bakwe, who will be contesting that district. According to him, his sister did not live up to her words. And in the other part of 2022, she promised not to contest for the third term, saying that she's going to executive position. So she pledged her support to Superintendent Janje Bakwe. But in the middle part of 2022, the story changed. She revised her decision and said she was petitioned by the resident for electoral district number 2, so therefore she was going to contest. And her brother sees that as a deception to her voice, and for which she's going to support Superintendent Janje Bakwe, Representative Day in electoral district number 2.
So how did the representative receive this news?
Well, earlier on, we had a conversation with the office staff and some members of her office. They were clear about this is politics time, so you're going to see that family member will betray family member. So the office is saying, not directly, but office is saying that they are already saying that from the far, and they know that he's doing it because he believes that the backfire will try to influence him financially. And that's the reason why he's going that direction, but they see that as not a distraction for their process. So the honorable representative are going to continue her process of 10 days.
Okay. Any other thing we need to know from Grand Bassa County?
So, still around the began ministerial code. Again, over the weekend, they began a ministerial code by a known criminal. And according to the cabinet magistrate, James Kabai, they made away with 2,000 watts generator cost $250 United States dollars. And according to Magistrate Kabai, that generator was purchased as a result of an appeal made to Honorable Larry Bopley on ground that they were lacking electricity here at the Buchanan City Court. But then the criminals broke into the area and made away with the generator, and as well scattered several documents in the office of the cabinet magistrate. And this, the Buchanan City Court is located, is being hosted as well by the Depot 2 of the Liberia National Police. It just read on the Buchanan Ministerial Code. So that was surprising the judge and some residents of Grand Bassa County, especially Buchanan, why this happening in the noses of the Liberia National Police.
Have the police made any statement in that regard?
The police say they are carrying on investigation. They are carrying on investigation to ascertain what was the cause and who are those some did and how did it all go. But they are not blaming member of the Buchanan Ministerial Court for said decision because it's a responsibility of the police according to them to protect life and property. So they are going to investigate the matter and hope they can trace it to the end. Okay.
Thank you very much. Prince Womplu is our guy there in Grand Bassa County, and he has brought us the update of what's obtaining in Grand Bassa County. Let's get to our man in Magidi, the great Walcott Carey. Walcott Carey is in Magidi County. Let's hear from him what's going on there in Magidi. Remember, the Ministry of Transport began a vigorous inspection process in Magidi County, and let's know how far it is right now and how is the process going, whether there's been hurdles. And as well, we know that a team of investigators from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission is also in Magidi County to investigate circumstances regarding the usage of USAID money by authorities of the CH Rennie Hospital. But let's see what's new there from Magidi. Walcott, good morning and welcome to the Morning Breeze.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to our listeners of ABC Radio.
Now, tell us, what is the latest in Magidi?
Well, currently, there are so many pending information stopping the charts as news making headline stories in Magidi.
I want the top one. The top one
now is that the National Elections Commission, NEC, has begun their training of various personnel that will be occupying various positions, at least in the conduct of the 2023 elections.
Okay. Where are they drawing the trainees from?
Well, most of the trainees are drawn from Kakata City, Magibi County, and other parts in the country, and all of them are converged in various centers like the Kakata City Hall and the Kakata Cinema and
Walker, you have to change your location a bit. We're not getting you coming in broken. Walker.
As I said previously, most of them are coming from various parts in Magibi County, and they are in various locations in the county, like the Kakata's cinema and that of the Kakata City Hall, where they are currently undergoing the training.
Okay, what exactly are they being trained for?
Well, according to officials of the National Elections Commission, who spoke to the press, informed the press that most of them, especially the data clerk and the registrar and the in technicians, they are training them basically to get first-hand information and idea as to the various work they will be contracted to do. Like, for example, the polling clerk will be trained as to how to take some records, and all will be geared towards ensuring a peaceful, free and fair elections come October 10, 2017 in Magibi County.
That's 2023.
Them to get some basic information as to carry out proper registration process, and also to document those names that will be coming at least to register in readiness in casting their vote. So basically, these are some of the things, and the NEC magistrate for Magibi County, Mr. Safustanto Nyake, informed the participants that NEC, especially in this part of Liberia, is very much zealous and committed to doing their job.
Okay.
And at the same time, encourage participants to redouble their effort and to give their all in all. That is, pay more attention and to grasp the basic knowledge, so that together, collectively, every one of us will have a conduct of a free and fair elections, not only in Magibi County,
but
the country at large.
Thank you so much, Wakat. Thank you very much. Let's leave it at that. Dennise, that's the update from the counties. Here we are this morning again on another presentation of the Morning Breeze.
Sure. Very much interesting updates from the county, and it is good as it relates to our correspondents being on the spot with current issues to, inform our public and audience.
Okay. Now let's go strictly to our first talking point this morning, Dennise. The University of Liberia, the fracas. By the way, like I indicated, the University of Liberia Faculty Association has issued a press statement, and it's important that we read this statement so that our people get to know exactly how does the faculty association feel about the impasse on yesterday, unmerited for that matter, unwarranted as well. And let's get to that press statement quickly. No, not that one. Not that one. No, sir. Okay, let me get it from my phone quickly. Let me get it from my phone quickly. Dennise, did I send it to you? I'm not sure I did that. I'm not sure I did that.
Okay. It is important to know what he said.
What this is about.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it on this other phone. But folks, this is the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio, 105.1. I think I sent it to you, Smith. You need to check the other account, because it's much clearer when I read it from the computer. Check the other account. But I mean, Dennise, let's begin with our reactions of what transpired on yesterday, and the kind of impression it gives to people who are non-Liberians and people even who are Liberians as well. I mean, the I just sent it again, Smith. Check your WhatsApp. The kind of impression it gives. I mean, people.
Okay.
I mean, the violence on yesterday. Just open it, bro. Okay, we got it right now. I mean, you gotta be fast, oh, bro. Yeah, you gotta be fast. So then let's continue. I still have a problem with this thing. Okay, we got it now. So it's a statement actually from the University of Liberia Faculty Association,
Okay.
and you remember on March 8th they released a statement urging Representative Akaras Gray not to go on
To
the
abandon his
to his
quest.
quest
Yeah.
to have lunch,
Mhm.
a quote unquote lunch on the campus of the University of Liberia because they thought that they thought that this would have breed conflict.
Escalated conflict
Yes,
at the University of
exactly,
Liberia.
exactly. So and against their appeal,
Okay.
Representative Gray was there on yesterday, and so the Faculty Association has released a statement, which I will read right now. Press statement for immediate release, March 14, 2023. Fellow members of the University of Liberia Faculty Association offer students and visitors, the media and peace-loving Liberians. Few days ago, precisely on March 8, 2023, the leadership of OFA issued a statement condemning the wave of repeated violence on the campuses of the University of Liberia by rampaging students and urged the UL administration to take seize of the matter and ensure that the UL campuses remain a place of quality learning. In the same vein, we urged students of the UL to conduct themselves as students and live up to the requirements of decent students. While efforts were being made to remedy the situation and restore calm and order on the campuses of the UL, social media went bust with many persons posting on their visit to the campuses of the UL to dine at the Students' Center, a restaurant on the campus of the UL. The greater of these posts was one made by Honorable Akaras Moses Gray, representative of District 8 Montserrado County, calling on supporters to join him to have lunch on the Capitol Hill campus on Monday, March 13, 2023 at 12:30 within the premises of the Students' Center. Despite several interventions and calls by many persons, including the UL administration, for the action of Honorable Gray to be abolished and help to restore order, the lawmaker insisted on ensuring that his plans were not altered and continuously reminded his supporters of their presence on the Capitol Hill campus. As a consequence of Representative Gray's insistence, the UL Capitol Hill campus became a place of so much tension that disrupted normal learning activities and caused injuries to several persons, as well as damage and loss of personal belongings of peaceful persons on UL campus. The leadership of OFA categorically condemns the action of Representative Gray and cohorts and see this action as a deliberate assault on academia and the smooth teaching and learning at UL. As a former member of the Board of Trustees of the UL, we expected Representative Gray to use his experience and knowledge of the UL to ensure peace and stable learning environment, and as well as helping the UL administration live up to the required expectations guided by the UL Charter. The offer also condemns the action of Honorable Yeke Koluba, representative of District Number 10, Montserrado County, for his actions to fuel further the already escalated tension on the Capitol Hill campus. OFA would like to remind the honorable lawmakers that the campuses of the UL are not battlegrounds for opposing political actors for show of supremacy. We see the actions of today as a warring pathway that will endanger the right to peaceful acquisition of knowledge at the nation's highest institution of learning. The leadership of OFA therefore calls for the setup of an independent and impartial investigation into the situations of violence on the campuses of the UL, and that this process should bring all perpetrators to account for their actions. Finally, OFA assures all faculties that we will do all it takes to ensure the safety of everyone, and we are committed to take appropriate actions that will guarantee the safety of every person on all campuses of the UL. Signed, Eric T.S. Parton, Secretary General, OFA. Dennise.
Yeah.
That's a statement there from the University of Liberia Faculty Association. And for some reason, the faculty association has been very vocal
Mm-hmm.
on all of the events that characterized yesterday's happenings, because they gave early warning.
Sure.
They sounded a caveat like we did here. They knew about the consequences that were attached to the visitation of Honorable Akaras Gray and Code on the campus of the University of Liberia. They were also aware of the actions of
Implications.
yeah, whenever these things occur on the campus of the University of Liberia. And as they rightly struck in that press release, Representative Akaras Gray has been around for a very long time. Representative Akaras Gray has been a part of student politics for a long time. Representative Akaras Gray has held national leadership, and he is aware of the events that normally transpired on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Representative Akaras Gray is also aware that his action will have led to what happened on yesterday. But he decided, because of his desire to show supremacy and his desire to show that he is the big man in town, he defiantly, and I said defiantly, not because he does not have the right to go on the campuses of the university, but because he was aware that there are consequences attached to his visit on the campus of the University of Liberia. And as a national leader, in order to avoid conflict, the best decision to have made was to avoid going on the campus of the University of Liberia, because he should have known that his going to the University of Liberia would have stirred up conflict. This is what I believe, Dennise.
Yeah, and you rightly put it. And like you said, when you, from the statement that was read, you realize that this, from the statement, right? Like I said, you realize that
Go ahead.
Representative Gray was resolved in terms of carry on his quest at the University of Liberia campus, because the faculty said they met with him, or they tried to intervene so that he can stop whatsoever quest he had. But I think he was resolved to carry on that whatsoever thing he had already envisioned in his mind, to go at the campus of the University of Liberia, to counter whosoever. And Fidel, there's one thing we need to look at, and it is saddening that whenever our officials are placed at certain position, because the house at which they are, that house is referred to as honorable. And if you are honorable, you are a respected person, meaning that people look up to you for direction. People see you as someone who is respectable, with a reputation that you won't, engage into the unusual behavior by others, the way others conduct themselves, the way they go about doing things, maybe being disgruntled, being disturbing around time. So if you're an honorable person, and like Representative Akara Gray said, he's the lawmaker of the district. And within your district, perhaps someone went at the campus of the University of Liberia and they were attacked. Good. They were attacked. We all talk about that. We all condemn the fact that you will have students, body at the University of Liberia, where they will be, and then they will be attacking others who will come at the campus of the University of Liberia, which is wrong. We talk about that. You, as the honorable man, respectable man that people see in that position, and sometimes it is saddening. Title comes with responsibility. Title comes with responsibility. If we say you are honorable, it means that you have to conduct yourself in that manner, meaning all of these things, that you are no longer a student. You are no longer a student. So if these students are carrying on some deviant behavior and you notice that it is wrong, there's a way to work with the faculty. There's a way to work around to ensure that calm restore at the campus of the University of Liberia, or the campuses, because we have the Fender and we also have the Capitol Hill. So you work along with the faculty to ensure that these things that continue to happen should not happen. But you cannot go, and announce that, yes, indeed, I'm going to have lunch. You did not think about having lunch at any time in Point at the University of Liberia campus, but you decide to have lunch when this thing happened. Definitely, that will send a signal to other groupings that you are up for confusion, and others will come. Like you ask, what does it, portray with our partners, with other foreigners in the country? It portrays that we are uncivilized society, where you have a higher institution of learning. People go to learn, people go to concentrate in terms of their own learning environment. Then you have people just being disgruntled all around town, causing chaos. And to make things worse, you have a representative or Yeke Koluba, who also joined. And that's why I say we cannot continue to do politics as usual. You have honorable people coming up acting like they are students. They are, they don't have title that people should respect them by, and they go about. There are a lot of things. Let's take, for example, perhaps someone would have been killed yesterday. What would have been the reaction of those people, of Representative Carol Gray or even Yeke Koluba? It is saddening, Fidel. So very. There's a need that we, exhibit leadership. Leadership is important, and that's where leadership comes into play as a representative. You have to demonstrate leadership. You said they are in your district. Yes, they are in your district. What step can you take along with the administration? There could be a suspension of student politics like they did the last time. You work behind the scene, but not to come or you yourself as the representative to counter student body. Say, for example, if someone had some in the crowd and would have done something bad
even to him
yesterday, what would have been the consequence?
You see, leadership, like you said, comes with responsibility, and people who are leaders are considered as individuals who make decisions based on wisdom.
Sure.
They are seen as individuals who are able to see from a distance events that will occur. And for me, Representative Gray being a leader, Representatives Gray and Yeke Koluba being leaders should have been cognizant of the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
Now, not to have recognized that and engaged in the kind of uncivilized behavior that they engaged in, I think that was counterproductive to what the president believes in maintaining our peace. And you cannot have lawmakers, policy makers who should be there to guard the process of governance in our country be the one to violate our laws. Now, it may appear to you, for you fanatics of Gray may say he has the right, or the men get right to go on the UL campus. But when you take action as a leader, you ask yourself, what is the adverse effect of this action that I am about to take?
Sure.
What kind of implication does it have on those who are I am going around? You cannot walk. I mean, at this stage, Dennise, from what we began to see when students who are believed to be members of SOUP began this whole thing about booing state actors. I thought that the lawmakers who have called the UL administration, what is going on your campus? Why are public officials being booed? I mean, these people do not have to necessarily belong to your political party. They don't have to. Serena Cephas does not have to belong to your political party. The vice president does not have to belong to your political party.
What goes around.
These are public officials. Sure. And so if there are eyes that are meted out against them, that is not civilized in nature, it is the responsibility of people like Akaras Gray and Yeke Koluba to call the UL administration. Why are our people being booed every time they go on the campus of the University of Liberia? What are you doing to avert this situation? Who are the students are you investigating to ensure that this action does not reoccur? I mean, those are the questions you should be asking. Look,
exactly.
SOUP is not beyond reproach. While we understand it is a student-based organization that advocates for social justice, they cannot have everything on their own. They cannot operate like they are operating their own state.
Sure.
They must be guarded by the laws of Liberia. And who is supposed to help them safeguard the way they operate? It is people like Representative Akaras Gray and Yeke Koluba. And they are the ones who've decided to engage into lawlessness because of the political gains that they tend to get out of this. No, let me say this to you. These lawmakers were very, very much aware of what they were doing. The new students who have gotten hurt, the new properties will have gotten destroyed,
Destroyed.
but the selfish nature of them in order to gain political relevance was the reason behind their action.
You said
And
it
this
right,
cannot be
political
backed.
relevance.
This cannot be backed by anything. This is uncivilized.
Mhm.
Representatives Yeke Koluba and Akaras Gray behaved very uncivilized on yesterday, and their action, so to speak, was even added up by the action of Soup. Again, I repeat,
Mhm.
Soup is not beyond reproach. The government of Liberia must stand up against the action of Soup and those who are associated with student politics.
Mhm.
Look, student politics is not militancy. Pretty ask yourself, you are a student of the University of Liberia. When was the last time the University of Liberia won a debate? You know, there have been debate organized by various institutions
Yeah, everything
for
now is just about politics.
organized for universities across the country.
Mhm.
When was the last time the University of Liberia won a debate championship?
Mhm.
It goes to say how much concentration has been left. The quest for education has been abandoned, and the direction is social justice advocacy, which is not a bad thing. But when you deviate from the tenets of true democracy and you decide to engage into militancy, then there is a need for questioning.
Seriously.
And that is why Soup has to be questioned and their intentions have to be made clear. Where are they? What direction are they moving in? If they are members of the intellectual class, we must see them winning debates. We must see them winning academic interactions.
Yes.
You cannot use the campuses of the University of Liberia as battlegrounds, as indicated by
and that's
offer.
what we have resulted into.
Yeah, we can't do this. We can't do this to our country. You have children coming up who look up to these leaders,
Mhm.
who look up to different student organizations. First, it was PROSA. Let us not leave PROSA out because PROSA was also there at the
Yes.
University of Liberia.
Yes, they counter as well.
We cannot have these student groupings engaging into violence. This is not good for our country. We are at the verge of going to a major elections when we have these splinter groups operating under the ambience of advocacy group or militant groups. What does this say about our country's democracy? It means no one is safe in this country again.
Yeah.
Nobody is safe because someone could just get up and say, I'm a member of a student group. You're not supposed to go this place, or you're not supposed to come this place.
And that's why on yesterday I had, some problem with the statement that the police spokesman Moses Carter, when he said the UL has police, they have their police to safeguard the area. So but right, you already listen to the people that they are going on the campus. They are going, by all means they will be there. The police should have been on the campus to prevent that no gathering of students, in terms of what they were intending to do, should have been taking place at that particular
proactive
time.
measure.
Yes,
but
so
they
the
wanted
police should have been there. Now someone they ask, is this how the police is going to relax themselves when there's a breeding conflict around during the time of the election? Someone may ask, because this warrant brings out so many questions. People may ask, prior to election, you are seeing this, and on the election day, perhaps if there's some conflict where the police just sit back, and wait to see people. Yes, to see people being brutalized, to see people being hurt and what have you, before you can come out to say, yes, we are going to, save the area, or we are going to ensure peace is restored. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. And Representative Carol Gray, he's from the party of the president. He's from CDC. So whatsoever thing he does, it reflects on negative way on the coalition.
Exactly.
And people look at the coalition or the ruling establishment to be responsible for that. So I don't think his action, was actually welcomed by some of his colleagues and others, because they should be speaking against that now, condemning that and telling him what is right. So I think they need to look into that as well, Fidel.
So to cut all matters short, Representatives Gray and Yeke Koluba behaved in an indecent manner. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So did Soup and Prosa. And I believe that the administration must begin now to take stern action against the conduct of, unruly conduct of student-based organizations on the campuses of the University of Liberia.
Yeah.
They must put their feet down. They must. Because let me say this to you, and I know this for a fact, that there will be reprisal attack in the soonest time. Soup does not abandon facts like that. We know that. There will be reprisal attacks.
And we heard that they said they are going to have lunch this morning at the Capitol.
I know that for a fact. And look, we cannot carry our state like this. We can't carry Liberia like this. Every day we hear yo. Then the people who are supposed to be responsible enough to calm these situations down are the ones who are at the forefront of what's happening. It's disgusting. But I know, again, like I said, these people want to trend. I mean, political actors have a way of mobilizing. And any mobilization that is not in the interest of the country, that places the peace of the country at, I mean, as fragile as it is right now,
stake,
of course, it places the peace of the country at stake. It means we should not recognize these people. I mean, it's just sad. It's very sad that that we have a situation of such. We can't. You cannot make wrong decisions. I mean, like this. Representatives Koluba and Gray did not make prudent judgment, and I think it's very wrong. Maybe that's the civilized way to say it's very wrong. It's very wrong. We must begin now to act, and I'm calling on Representatives Gray and Koluba to undo what they've done on the campuses of the University of Liberia. How do they do that? Go and meet with the administration of the University of Liberia. I know you are a party right now. Yes, clearly they are a party to whatever transpired on the campus of the University of Liberia on yesterday. They are a party now, and as indicated by offer, an independent investigation. You know, in Liberia, yeah, about independent investigation, to be frank, I don't trust that process. I see it as just a white lining, because everything about our country now is politics. Once there are vested interests involved, the desire for independence, the desire for full independence will not be adhered to, and that is the fact. We don't trust anybody else in the country, Dennise. That how the country now that thing. The desire to trust people not there. I mean, even sincere people. I mean, sincere people sometimes get sincere people get corrupted by the system. They want to do right, but when they do right, they look at the kind of condemnation they receive, and so they try to play by what the prevailing circumstances determine. So I mean, that's how it is, Dennise. It's sad. It's a sad reality for our country.
And there's a need to make amends.
We must make amends, make a change, and that starts from our leaders. I mean, the way they conduct themselves, they are able to question the actions of those who are not in leadership positions. So if you are in leadership position and you are behaving in a certain way that depicts a leadership failure, then it weakens those who are at the lowest ebb of the ladder to behave in a more rational fashion. So that's how the system collapses, and that's how the nation collapses. And we cannot sit here and fold our hands and see Liberia collapsing because a few handful of individuals have opted to take action that is against the interests of the state. We must protect the state to the latter, and that's why we are here for, Dennise.
Yeah, that's what we are here for, and we continue to do that.
Okay. Okay, so we bring it up here, and maybe we can listen to listeners out there, what's their opinion on all of this, because it's important that we keep sounding this caveat that the peace of this country rests in the hands of everyone. You wheelbarrow ball, you keke ball, okay, you business woman, I mean, wherever you find yourself, see that your action could one way or the other have a repercussion on the governance of the state, the peaceful nature of our state. And everybody should be talking about peace as we move to election now. Now, let's go to the Unity Party, Dennise. The reality is, I know people have pacified him in different factions, but the former vice president has been a man of timidity, and such
Why
a
you
good
say that?
description. He's slow in action,
Okay.
slow to make decision,
Mhm.
and people see that as a display of wisdom. But in some cases, it is not actually a display of wisdom. Sometimes it's interpreted as a lack of leadership.
Okay.
And we've just spoke about leadership, by the way. And leaders should be people who are decisive. Decisive at a point that they are able to make decision regardless of who that decision affects. It means it doesn't mean the decision has to be irrational.
Mhm.
It must be rational,
Yeah.
but it must be at a point where people are able to say, yeah, the
Read
mentor.
between the lines.
Remember, one of the reasons why the CPP crumbled was because of lack of leadership. And I know all the people who talk the politics about, oh, because we didn't agree and didn't agree. But if you had a leader in the room, the CPP wouldn't have crumbled the way they did. But that's spilled milk.
Yeah.
What are we bringing this issue of the vice president told the fray?
Okay.
We believe that at this point, in every serious political party that is going to an election must be able to make some sort of decision at this point.
Yeah.
We are in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We are 7 months away from elections, 6-7 months away from elections. And the morale that you gathered leading to election is based on the political decisions that you make during that process.
Yeah.
Now, there are two names that are before the vice president, right? The former vice president right now. Senator Yumli Kanga Lawrence and Senator Jeremiah Kum. Senator Yumli Kanga Lawrence is from Liberty Party.
Yeah.
I know what the power tried to sugarcoat that the Liberty Party is just having a bit of confusion and they are in reconciliation. But at this point, since we don't know what the content of the backroom discussion is, they are still in disarray. So the Liberty Party is in two.
Yeah.
And Yumli Kanga Lawrence, according to Wade Power, she's not a political leader. She's just a member of Liberty Party.
When you ask Yumli Kanga, she'll
she's
say she's
the political leader. So again, there is still, the low contestation regarding the leadership of Liberty Party. Now, you go to Jeremiah Kum. He has just been, elected, appointed as the standard bearer of the movement for what?
Reconstruction.
Democracy and reconstruction.
MDR.
Movement for democracy and reconstruction. Okay, he's just been he's the head. I don't know through what kind of process. He's the head. Now, these are two important individuals in the opposition community, Dennise, and these are seen as the top guns in Ambassador Bwaka's pick for his vice standard bearer. Now, looking at these names, Dennise, what are the chances of Jeremiah Kum and that of Yumli Kanga Lawrence? Who do you think, in your opinion, considering all factors, he will choose as his running mate? It's a difficult question.
For me, I won't really, say who will he pick the kind of way, but I have a little tricky scenario.
Okay.
And when we look at the issue of the running mate, like you talk about, take for example, Yumli Kanga Lawrence. You rightly say we are 7 months to elections, and there have been this issue of who the former vice president will pick as running mate. There were speculation about Alexander Kumis. Alexander Kumis, has been resolved in terms of going as, he won't go as a running mate, but he will go as a presidential candidate, right? And he's clear about that. Good. Now, the party over the time have sold, I would say that Yumli Kanga Lawrence. And many people now, whenever sometimes opinion pool is ongoing, you say, who's the vice running mate to former vice president? People, Yumli Kanga Lawrence, Yumli Kanga Lawrence. And it began to send a signal that perhaps these two people will be featured on the ballot, on the ticket. Now, when you come up, now, in this time to say perhaps we are looking at Jeremiah Kuhn. Jeremiah Kuhn, who, like you said, recently
took the leadership
of MDR. And it is something that, it is kind of big. Liberia now, within the 21st century, that we will be taking tribal line throughout our body politics. It's kind of the way. Now the issue of Nima County. Nima County is not as it used to, where you say Prince Johnson will come up and just say, yes, this person can go, and you see everyone like coming to, embrace that and what have you.
Now, why do you say that?
Because now things have changed. You have people coming up who are winning perhaps, that the Nima County, or who are coming up with your support that are being supported perhaps by Prince Johnson. So you cannot limit your party because you won a huge vote from Nima County.
But winning an election requires votes.
I know. But what I'm saying is that the Prince Johnson factor now, I don't see
it's not as strong as it used to.
It's not strong as it used to. So for the United Party at this point in time, to be looking at Jeremiah Kuhn, I see that as something that is not, I don't want to say that, but to say that I don't see him as,
as a strong partner.
A strong partner to
ensure that United Party wins.
Exactly. And looking, sometimes when you pick your running mate, you want to pick your running mate, you look at several factors.
Okay.
Who is which party is the MDR? We already have Prince Johnson with a tinted record that people already have problem with him being sanctioned, being having his own problem as it relates to our war. We talk about war and economic crimes court, and Prince Johnson is someone who people look at in that direction because he was involved with the war. And no if and but about that, you cannot disassociate that from him. So you look at those factors, and now you are seeing someone the United Party over the time. Perhaps some of my friends, would not like that, but they always portray to be the integrity. In terms of, and the well educated party. So if you are pushing candidates for vice and presidential aspiring, you have to look at the portfolio and the credential of those people. Jeremiah Kuhn, you have to look at all of those issues. And there are people who have been there. Now you just want to pick someone, and it's starting how people now, when people go to agreement and go to political collaboration, everybody wants to take the big meat. Nobody wants to, everybody just about themselves. So if the United Party is coming up now to say, yes, we want to take Jeremiah Kuhn at this point in time, now the United Party is telling me that all of those things that they have been speaking about, talking about education, talking about people of status that are there in terms of, credential, portfolio, and all of those things, they are disregarding all of that. I will tell you, a pick for Nima County could be perhaps Tiawan Gonglo.
Okay.
With the VP, with the former vice president. For Jeremiah Kuhn, that's my own take as it relates to that. So if you say Yombi Kanga Lawrence, like you asked me the question, I would say Yombi Kanga Lawrence and VP Joseph Boyka TK would be a perfect match. But Jeremiah Kuhn, there will be serious issue within the United Party. I can tell you for that, and I can tell you with their own supporters. So that's something to look at from the United Party. Yombly. Yeah, I would say Yombly because Yombly have been around, and we also talk about gender equality. Gender equality. If you are gender sensitive, you cannot even run a ticket that you don't have a female. So United Party now is trying to say that they are not gender sensitive. Now you are putting aside a female, and now you want to take a male because why? You want to get vote for Nima County. And rest assured, people from Nima, whatsoever you do, if they want to support you, they will support you. You don't have to go and form alliance with Prince Johnson before you can take up the leadership of the country.
There's another person in the fray, Edith Gonglowe. She accumulated a total of over 34,000 votes in the 2020 senatorial elections.
That could be another person.
Could she be another And that even though Jeremiah Combe came a little over her 37,000 votes in 2020 special senatorial elections, but she's a female candidate.
And the name Ide Bungalow where is a household name in the Bali politics. People will talk about how much as compared to Jeremiah Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my perspective. And I believe that as we move to these elections, the vice president has a challenge. The former vice president has a challenge. In these political parties, there are individuals who have vested interests. The constitution of the Unity Party clearly states it is the prerogative of the standard bearer to pick who he wants to go with in the elections.
Exactly.
Now, but regardless of the power that the constitution gives the former vice president or the standard bearer, so to speak, there are competing priorities in terms of individual members' desire. All right. So words will be thrown in the ears of the former vice president. Choose a person, choose the person, choose the person, choose the person. But let's look at the numbers in terms of votes and the kind of width these individuals bring to the former vice president. Nyomlikanga Lawrence has been senator for a little over 9 years now. This is the second term. This should be her second term as senator. Now, she has been in Grand Bassa County, and as much that we have this leadership crisis at Liberty Party, which also is a negative on her part. She does not enjoy the overwhelming support of the Liberty Party at this stage now, except that there's some sort of reconciliation in. Remember now, the Liberty Party has said that we are with the CPP. That is, they've decided that Alexander Cummings will be their standard bearer, because whether you like it or not, Musa Ability is the legitimate chairman of the Liberty Party as per what the National Elections Commission has indicated.
That's another discussion.
Yeah. So he has decided that, okay, we're taking Liberty Party to CPP. They will remain there, and the Yomli faction is somewhere else. Now, considering this kind of split within the Liberty Party, Yomli as an individual and craving the support of the Liberty Party will be handicapped. Now, do you want will former Vice President Joseph Boakai want to take an individual who is considered as politically handicapped, and considering her numbers in Grand Bassa County, where she is, Liberty Party sees as her base, she struggled to win the 2020 senatorial elections in Grand Bassa County. She did struggle. So it is a negative, considering how this, in fact, she ran on the ticket of the CPP in Grand Bassa County in 2020. Considering the way she struggled to win the senatorial seat, is it an indication that if you were to even go as a running mate to former Vice President Joseph Boakai, much votes will not be accumulated in favor of the Unity Party? Of the Unity Party. Could that be a factor? That could also be a factor. Would that be a thing for the former Vice President to consider? Of course, it will be a thing to think over. The second thing, financial implications come in the picture. The former Vice President needs cash. His running mate must be somebody who has deep pocket. Normally may have accumulated a bit of money over the time during her tenure as senator, and she's getting some. But is she willing to dip in her purse to take some of those money to make it as a contribution to the campaign team? Is she willing to do that? Is another question. Is she well capacitated to fund 20% of the Unity Party campaign? Is another question. Does she have the financial capacity? I don't want to question that, but it is a big asking. Now we get to Jeremiah Kum. Jeremiah Kum has been the same. He's just been elected senator, but he has been representative in Nimba County. He has lots of business chains in Nimba County. He has this, yes, he has the support of Senator Prince Johnson. I know you made indication of his connection to the Liberian Civil War and the sanction from the U.S. government, but is it something that is really considered by the voting populace in Liberia? I am not very sure of that. Liberians do not vote on the basis of these key policy issues. hard your connection is with a particular faction and what have you. If anything, that is what have catapulted Senator Johnson to national leadership, being senator two times now. All right. That has catapulted him to that level. So I don't think it will be a big issue. Now, so him throwing his weight behind Senator Jeremiah Kuhn, it places Jeremiah Kuhn at a higher level. Remember now in 2020 special senatorial elections, he accumulated a little over 34,000 votes in Nima County.
And do you know that votes that were accumulated was also based on the support from the ruling party?
I agreed. I agreed.
He was supported by the ruling
party. I agreed. So okay, great. That's a great point. So even though the ruling party supported him, and because of Prince Johnson, that is why the ruling party supported him. All right. Prince Johnson was then was in lovey with the ruling party. But as it is now, we see a bit of disconnect considering his posture of recent. I mean,
so
the number might reduce. Of course, it's possible it may reduce. But like I said, because there was a lovey relationship between the CDC and Prince Johnson, so it was a easy thing to a very easy thing to happen in Nima County.
Yeah.
So as it is now, they are no longer buddy. So a little bit of implication will obviously take place in a negative direction against Jeremiah Kum. So the vice president will consider all of these factors. The last one, which is very key, has Jeremiah Kum got something in his perks to contribute to the Unity Party's campaign? It's a resounding yes. I mean, I don't know their best balances, but if you look at Jeremiah Kum and you look at Yumli, first you will look at willingness to support. Besides you having the money, there should also be a desire that you want to use your money. There is another factor. And women, you have to spend. So,
who told you that?
Women have to spend. So it will be a factor to consider as well. Someone who is willing to give their financial resources to the campaign. I think it will also be a factor of for consideration by the former vice president. So looking at all of these things,
accountability will also play its own part.
Exactly.
There will be check and balance of those who are coming.
Exactly. Those are things the former vice president will consider. But I will give the nod to to Jeremiah Kum. In numbers, financial resources, and because Prince Johnson is behind this, this could be the former vice president's pick for his his running mate.
Yeah.
All right. And that's how I see it. I may not be right. I mean, these are all, educated guesses.
Yeah,
I may not be right, but this is
so.
what I see. And maybe our people out there have a different opinion on, maybe read some of our comments there. I mean, let's acknowledge our viewers this morning. It's something we don't normally do. Let's do that for our viewers. Let's acknowledge those who are watching this morning and are commenting as well.
Okay, we have Lavidino dos Santos Cooper Jr. says, good morning, Fidel and Dennise. I'm following from my resident on Honorable Emmanuel Dan Avenue, Ashmont Street, Dusty Road. Rachel Blackest Fagans. Okay, the second say one course delicacy menu. President aspirant Clarence Moneybar platform ABC Radio official. Okay, I think that's promotion. Okay, that's a Fidel way. Okay, joining us. Okay, that's our guest.
Yes. The political leader of the Liberia National Union, Clarence Moneybar, will be our guest as presidential aspirant. Will be our guest at 9:15.
Yeah. And David E. Harris says, good morning, Fidel Saydee and Dennise Nimpson. I am following live from Benson Street, Monrovia. Mickey Sandolo says, that's why I love how Fidel is describing him as Representative Gray and not honorable. Okay, he says the president himself is in support of Gray's action. Okay,
no, we can say
we
that.
can say that. Emmanuel Pay says, good morning, Honorable Yeke Cordoba was speaking peace, not violence. Act Emmanuel Pay. Okay, the Faribo that is perpetuous. What Takapen says. Okay. Honorable Gray did absolutely nothing wrong on yesterday. When did it become wrong for one to have lunch on the campuses of the University of Liberia? What right does the SUP have to deny or certain representative from accessing the UL? Should we continue to sit and allow a few undisciplined students, like he said, to continue to cause problems at a state-run university? Let's call a spade a spade. Soup was in the wrong, guys. It was an unprovoked attack on the lawmaker by Soup on yesterday. Okay. Chris, that fight took say following from Bapolu County. Okay. Ishmael, okay. Abdullah Diallo says, let's not overlook the growth of the CDC in Nimba. All right. Keep the
Exactly.
comments coming. Share the video, watch alone, and invite others to watch our page, ABC Radio Live. Yeah, Fidel. You can go to
So
the
it's
lines.
yeah, let's go to the line 07077105100 0555105 077105100 are the numbers to call this morning. Let's hear you on the morning breeze right here on ABC Radio 105.1 with Dennise and Fidel on this Tuesday morning presentation of the program. Let's take this person. Good morning. Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
This is Magister Mariam. I join you from my resident and Sufi community.
Let's hear you.
First of all, let me condemn the action by Soup yesterday. You know, the guys from Soup actually shot themselves in their legs yesterday. I was on the campus yesterday when Representative Gree, was going about his lunch. The guys left the campus, the Supers left the campus and went right at the entrance of the Capitol building. With racks in their hands yesterday about 12 o'clock yesterday. Okay? Representative Gray told you that he's coming on the campus for lunch. What you should have done is to wait for him when he enters the campus. You can walk in and create the intellectual forum and ask him, Mr. Gray, who invited you on the campus? Why did you come on the campus? Then it would be much reasonable. But the guys left the place and went at the entrance yesterday with racks in their hands. They were the ones that attacked Representative Gray yesterday. Gray was not the one that attacked them. He was only defending himself.
Okay.
Representative Gray was defending himself yesterday. He was defending himself.
All right, my brother.
With racks all in their hands, throwing stones at even ordinary students that were around the area. They started throwing stones.
Okay, my brother.
How can you reduce the university campus to gangster activities? That is wrong. And it is about time for librarians to come together and categorically condemn the actions of Soup. You cannot have guys that are purporting themselves to be students. Now they're trying to turn into program activities.
Thank you. Thank you.
We cannot accept that. And if they continue to do that, there will be a citizen arrest. We will move out of university and lack the office.
Okay. Okay, we can promote. We're trying to avoid that. But we'll bring it all again. Morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother and friend. Good morning to your general with the studio.
Good morning.
And good morning to my beloved people of Mosolado County and others who are in the 15th subdivision and others who are in the diaspora monitoring the ABC radio. I joined this conference Sunday morning from Issacar, New Georgia, Johnson to the Eastern Series.
Okay, let's hear you.
Johnson, okay.
Before you finish calling your name and the time going on.
My attention has been drawn to why you're discussing. But for me, I deny the visitation of Moses Academy at the State University. It's very concrete. It's very tangible. Because you cannot see a tension or you cannot see fire somewhere else and you decide to test somebody go there. If you decide to test somebody go there, mean that if you're the person going in fire and you are the facilitator of that person, if that person will die, or you are the facilitator of that fire catching. Honorable Moses Akara, shouldn't forget that you're in the ruling establishment one. Honorable Moses Akara, shouldn't forget that you're not because you occupy station number 8. No, he is the representative of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
Honorable Moses Akara Gray, she was sick on the campus of the University of Liberia based on the tension over there.
Okay.
Okay.
The president of the University of Liberia, Professor Julius Nelson, sorry for the adjective.
No. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is a clean platform. We don't. We wouldn't permit.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning to the two of you in studio. But let me establish something first.
Yes.
The state-run university, who is responsible to ensure that people get in and get out? I think it is the administration. But because the administration failed to regulate the institution, That is why the Student Unification Party always running for out of the campus, and I think it's not supposed to be so. On the issue of Honorable Gray, I think it was wrong on the part of Honorable Gray to have said he's going to have lunch at the university campus. We all know the Constitution provides that every Liberian citizen has the right to move freely through the length and breadth of the state. But Honorable Gray has been a lawmaker for I think 11 years now. He has never attempted or saying that he's going on his state going university campus for a lunch or a single year of his training.
Are you saying he has never publicized that? But to say he has never been there, you cannot say that.
No, I'm not saying Saydee that he has never been there. He has never stated that he gone for lunch there for the 11 years he has represented. At the House of Parliament there. Okay. Why now, when tension has building up at the Stephen University campus? Why now? Why today? And what are the things is that?
Okay, thank you very much. 077 0777 105 100 0555 105 100 0777 105 100. The numbers. Let's take another person here. Good morning. Get away from your monitor, please. Good morning, sir. Sorry, you have to get away from your monitor. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll talk about a learning environment. According to the Minister of Education, a learning environment should be conducive for learning, free of interference. It's not a social gathering. It's not an entertainment place. It's a learning place.
Exactly.
So the University of Nigeria, for time immemorial, for the time of Wood Tapia, the Catholic, the Jeremy, Pia, the Kafa, that university have been carrying the university protecting the administration. But the administration is to be blamed because the press conference the president had, he knew, and because it was pre-designated by Friday, that place to have lost.
They play a cafeteria there. Everybody can go eat there now. So that one doesn't play that low.
No, not anybody.
Wait. Yeah.
But you can have guests. You can have guests.
Guests can go there to have lunch.
This is why administrators have ID card, instructors have ID card, students have ID card. That's why they have to get there.
So visitors that go to the university should not go to the student center to have lunch. Is that what you're saying? No, it's not a social gathering, but the student center is there to serve the public. So if there's anyone who's around the terrain who wants to go there, you cannot be stopped. What we are questioning is the motive behind your going there.
Sure.
That's the issue at hand. Thank you, my brother. Let's take this person right here. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Anita Samona joining from New Georgia Estate.
Okay.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to tell God thank you for you people for the platform this morning. And I want to appreciate Dennise this morning for her input. Like she's speaking for the Holy Spirit this morning.
Amen.
Yes, I want to condemn the action that took place at the university from the action of the police, the National Police of Nigeria. Because if Colonel Pachesu will come on later to say he had men deployed at the university camp around the university and not stopping what was going on, I got so angry with his speech last night that he made. And we should not always wait for something to happen before we will take decision. It's like the former Justice Minister case when she call for people to go to her aid. Nobody will tell on say something took place today that got the whole country fearful and risky to this. We should not always wait for things to happen. We should be times ahead and run after what is coming to happen. We should see the danger ahead and put a halt to it.
I agree with you.
And coming to the selection of vice president, I will also join Dennise to say the vice president should choose Madam Yomdi Kankan Lauren or the lady for Nima country. And let us leave this. They having pre-Johnson party Pre-judging is not God. God decide whatever He wants to do to anybody for anybody at any time, and not anybody intervention. God can remain God and do what He wants to do.
I agree with
then
you.
He carry a female as his vice president, and at the end of the day, like when people set their eyes to see man of money, they will make their own decision. They start. Thank you for putting me the opportunity on your platform.
Thank you so much for your insightful input. We have someone here again. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The name is Nina Divine for the political apostle and John District number 16. Let me appreciate you guys this morning. But and before I go here, I just want to make you honest because you made a statement saying that the attitude of former vice president was I feel slow in taking action. It's actually to right in full leadership in the PDP.
Just speak out a bit louder, Nina. Speak out a bit louder.
We're not getting you.
Okay, yes, I'm trying to say that the statement that you made by saying that the attitude of former vice president being slow in selecting or in taking decisions and led to what a full leadership structure. So, but what happens that they are interested to know that sometimes being hasty in taking decisions and making the right to make a wrong decision. So, on the other hand, former vice president Joseph Imam Bouaka is a man of wisdom. You don't rush in doing. You don't rush in.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Nina.
Thank you.
Let's take another person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Well, we're doing good here. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Jay Wisekankan, calling from Florida.
Let's hear you, Mr. Yankan.
Thank you very much for this platform. The first thing I want to say is to condemn the action of Honorable Moses Karagre. This is an honorable man I can recall. When I was at that university, 2011, 2010, he went on that campus and you were overwhelmingly welcomed by the students. At the same school. And it was at the time he was at the level of criticizing the governor of Eddie Johnson City. And this man knew very well that the Bible says what he do unto others, that it will be done unto you. So you must always do unto others as you expect for it to be done unto you. And that time he was embraced everything that the leadership of that university used to do by stopping leaders, in fact insulting leaders and other things. He used to embrace it. And he knew very well that it was wrong. Why you were embracing it? That's the first thing. The second thing, I listened to him at the time that he was going to give Liberia.
Nanamio, my hands up. And I think you just left like that. Yeah. But keep your calls coming to we got 5 minutes to go for our break. Keep your calls coming to 0777 105 100 0555 105 100. No mistake if we have that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Abraham from Rehab.
My brother, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for your show. For me, yesterday, from the beginning, I never supposed to program on that campus, but later on, I realized it was the right thing to do. This guy is on a road, on that campus. Say that I mean, you start to tell me that from going to that campus. Why the way on that campus, somebody can say, oh, for me, the way I have no students from university, my parents, you can't take it. How do you see? All no students from university that work, you can't eat here. There's no saying, going higher lunch.
And that's why we say the administration must take stern action. Okay.
Okay.
All right, my brother. Okay. All right, my brother. So that's why we've said that the administration has to put her feet on the ground.
Yeah.
So as to avoid, I mean, campus-based political parties having this authoritarian kind of style in dealing with issues to just get away from that mindset that they are beyond reproach.
Yeah.
I mean, people do not have to think like that, especially student political groupings. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm Emmanuel M. Tupachenio. I call you this morning from around the intellectual class of the community.
Okay.
I'm a student of the University of Liberia, Science Scholarship by my department. Quickly, let me speak to the issue that occurred yesterday. Every form of violence, as a person, I want to categorically condemn it. You know, and this is what we want to see. The Vanguard Unification Party, or some guys on the Vanguard Unification Party, are making the university campus unbearable, and they are therefore sending a exact name outside there, you know, to the outside world, to other universities. If today you turn on BBC or other platforms, our university campus is negatively discussed, and it's showing documents to the country as a whole. Don't forget, this is like in Tennisburg. That's the face of the country. If university students will desist for intellectualism and they say they want to be a radical, they are not intellectually radical, but they want to be very, very brutal in our subject, I think it is wrong. And these guys from the Bangladesh education have been levying attack on people. They want to have a very rapport with the past president, a female. They were using all type of impressions on her, which of course I cannot use it against anybody. It was wrong. But then I want to encourage Akara Gray for going there. I think those guys got served yesterday because many times on Fena Campbell there's rock wall. We have to school rock between us. They will be on the main road and then people will come between us. So I think they got served yesterday. But we want to discourage violence.
All right. That I was speaking against violence and say somebody gets there. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Fidel Saydee, and good morning, Dennise.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure joining the conversation this morning. My name is Kelvin Adonis Vola, and I joined this fascinating conversation for Electoral District number 8, Monterey County.
The PLP man is stern critic of Akara's Gray.
Yeah, but just for the record, the PLP was sold to this regime. So for that reason, some of us have resigned from the PLP, but we will discuss that another time. This morning, I decided to call basically based on the act exhibited by this generational liability and the father of money unfulfilled pledges Akara's Moses Gray.
My man, I want for the man.
And I want to Fidel, Liberia needs to move forward. People like Gray, in government today behaving this way is very, very unacceptable. But I want to speak to the people of District number 8 shortly.
No, listen. I think it's fair enough that the actions of all the actors on yesterday were wrong. Let's be clear about this. I mean, whether Soup, Gray, you can't condemn Gray and then you leave Soup. No, that would be an unfair criticism.
Look, Fidel, people cannot use fire to call up fire. Akara had no reason to go on that campus yesterday, whereas all of
the students too had no reason to stop anybody from going on the campus.
I agree, but you are a leader.
So so condemn the students and then you condemn the leader. Then that would be a fair criticism.
Yeah, I come in of Fidel. What makes you a leader is you must use wisdom to handle situation. People say when crazy man tell your traffic and run outside, you want to run behind the crazy man.
Yeah, don't run behind the crazy man, but let me say the crazy man are wrong.
Fidel?
Yeah. No, I mean I'm just being fair now, Calvin. Anyway, go ahead. End your point. Let's Kevin go on. I mean, but then it's fair now. We can say, oh, Akara's Gray was wrong for going there and what have you. But the only reason we're saying this is because we are taught that you have used his wisdom, his leadership, and you have been prudent in making such a determination as to what will happen if I go there, what will happen if I don't go there. Yeah. Now, it is not to say that it was the students that were stopping him from going there. It was his wisdom and leadership qualities that would have stopped him from going there. It means he was making right judgment. That Suna got no right to stop anybody. And I was rhetorically asking, when the last time Sue won debate? And people can organize university debate. When the last time UL want debate.
So, those acts.
I mean, minute, our friend, but we got tonight. You got to tell your friend a fact.
Yeah.
No lying about that one. Our
You
there.
cannot take the University of Liberia campus and be into military,
Yeah,
parade, Tennessee.
What I didn't, you're not correct. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the last caller will go for our break. Yes, your name and where you come from.
At 9:50, we'll have our guest, Clarence Moniba.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you come from.
My name is Mohammed Kanaka and I'm calling from Kerry Street.
Quickly, Mohammed.
I like your program, but I don't know.
Okay, all right. Just listen to 105.1 and follow. Dennise, let's take our break right now. When we come back, hopefully our guest will be in studio.
Our guest is on his way, and Clarence
Manimba is a presidential aspirant.
Aspirant.
And I'm told he has a wealth of experience. But let's take our break and be right back on the program. By the way, before we take our break, Rovia Logistics is the company that's involved into these heavy duty machines, clearing of roads, earth moving equipment. They are the best in town. All right. And so if you are looking for machines to move your equipment from Monrovia to other parts of the country, you can contact Rovia Logistics. And if you are as well looking for trucks to rent, you can also contact Rovia Logistics, and that will be done for you. If you are in Monrovia, Central Monrovia, and you have construction works going on, or you want a company to do your construction for you, contact Rovia Logistics. They are located on McDonough and Kerry Streets. Contact Rovia Logistics there, and they will do LW. Clear, your search will be over. You now look for no company again. And maybe your construction work was ongoing and you ran out of blocks. Contact Rovia Logistics to do all that for you. I mean, yes. So that's it. Let's take our break and be right back.
Rovia. Yes, Rovia Logistics is back. Have you been looking for a one-stop shop to rent and hire machineries of all types? Look no further. Rovia Logistics Incorporated is the answer. Rovia Logistics has wide range of machines like dump trucks to haul your sand, red dye, crush rocks, and border rocks.
As for your construction needs, do not worry. Rovia Logistics have all sizes of yellow machines to meet your desire. They have machines like bulldozers, compactors, excavators, forest machines, backhoes, and many more.
The interesting part is you get to hire them hourly, daily, or monthly. And that's not all. They also rent pickups of all types like Toyota Tacoma, Nissan Frontiers, Ford F-250, and they are equipped with all-wheel drive options for bad road conditions. Locate Rovia Logistics Incorporated right at the corner of McDonough and Kerry Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street.
Contact Rovia Logistics and cell numbers 0777 874 231 or 0888 726 172. You can also email them on rovialib@gmail.com.
Better still, WhatsApp Rovia Logistics on 0777 874 231 or message them on Facebook, Rovia Logistics Incorporated. Rush now for quality services at affordable prices. I like it.
Bokonjida Group of Companies, a 100% Liberian-owned company with over 20 years of experience, is the name that stands tall in the microfinance, construction, and general services industries. At Bokonjida Group of Companies, we pride on character, integrity, honesty, confidentiality, and creditworthiness. Approved institutions or entities under the microfinance service include House of Representatives, Liberian Senate, General Services Agency, Financial Intelligence Unit, and General Auditing Commission. Others include Governance Commission, Cooperative Development Agency, Ministry of Gender, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, National Public Health Institute of Liberia, National Port Authority, Group of 77, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Our construction services include the construction of residential and commercial buildings, while the general services include apartment renter, apartment for lease, furnished apartments for short stay, general printing services, and a yard with swimming pool to host events. Bokon Junior Group of Companies is located on Capitol Hill in Monrovia. For more information, call us on cell numbers 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603, or better still 0886-622-559, or email us at Bokonjida Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjida Group of Companies. Wanna see all my people progress.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have covers for roads and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crushed rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Kerry Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777-874-231 or 0888-726-172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777-874-231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that man's Sorbet land. No time to waste.
My ticket is there.
Welcome back to the program, The Money Breeze, right here on ABC Radio 105.1. And of course, our premier guest is in studio. Call him premier guest.
Sure.
Is in studio right now.
Prom guest.
Yeah, prom guest. Yeah, he's in studio. Dr. Clarence Monimba. He's the political leader of the Liberia National Union. And I think founded in 1997 or thereabout. Yeah, okay. It's been around for a while now. And I remember the last stand-up barrel was the guy at no, it was at EPA. You remember the situation with the coronavirus?
Yeah.
I mean that's the fond memory I have about him. Yeah, but good morning, Dr. Monimba.
No, thank you. Very happy to be here. I'm very happy to talk about Liberia and where we are going as a nation, and why I think this year is going to be one of the most important years in the history of our country.
Okay. And how has it been so far?
It's good. It's good. In life, if you want something, nobody will ever give it to you. You have to fight for it.
Exactly.
Nobody will ever come and say, oh, Dr. Monimba, here's leadership. Nobody will ever come and give you, the spot on the radio or anything you want in life. You have to fight for it. You have to be committed to it. And you have to have faith that it will work out.
How has the journey been so far? Engagement wise?
We've been on this journey now for a year. We did more undercover work. We just started to come out about a month and a half, 2 months ago. We've been around the country twice already, speaking to hundreds of communities. I've literally given over 250 plus speeches now. I've been on the radio over 75 times.
Okay.
So we have, thousands of members all over the country, whether it's Friends of Monimba or with our political party, Liberia National Union. We are making our way around. The good thing about it is that the people understand the message.
Okay.
And for me, I'll be 44 tomorrow to be exact.
Free birthday, by the way.
I'll be 44 years old tomorrow. And so with that being said, the majority of the population in this country under the age of 45. 85% of the people in this country are under the age of 45. So the argument I'm making, and I will continue to make, is that our generation must be the change that we want to see in this country.
Okay.
Our generation can no longer look for other people to come and fix this country. We can no longer look to the older generation and say, "You'll fix it for us." We have the majority in this country. We have the qualifications. We have the talent. And therefore, we also have the vision and love for this country. So we will do what, we would be able to be the ones to ensure that Liberia is better tomorrow than it is today. Our generation would do that. And that's what I'm trying to lead.
Okay, let's just place the light on the individual, Dr. Clarence Moniba. Who is he? I mean, his work experience, his education, and what have you. Then we can go into the politics.
No. Again, thank you for that question. The first thing I always tell people when people ask me who I am is I have to first identify who my father was. Dr. Harry Moniba, who was the former vice president in this country from 1984 to 1990. And what he would always tell me is that I do not have money to leave you, but I'll leave you a name and legacy that you'll be proud of. But of course I cannot identify my father who has passed now without identifying my beautiful mother who will at some point be listening to this interview, Minita Moniba. So, when you start to explain, who I am and what I've been doing in life, we all know that the war started in 1990 here in Liberia. I lived in Sierra Leone for a little bit. In 1992, I moved to the United States. I lived there for 20 years from 1992 until 2012. Okay. While I was there, fortunately for me, through academic scholarships and athletic scholarships, I was able to get 2 masters and a PhD, in government and public relations and public administration. I was able to get, like I said, 2 masters and a PhD. I returned to Liberia in 2012, and that's when I began to work for Liberia. Even though before I returned, I worked at the Liberian Embassy in Washington, D.C. I worked at the United Nations. I've also served as a consultant for the World Bank. In terms of Liberia, I've served as the youngest Minister of State without portfolio in Liberia's history. I've also served as the youngest chairman of LEC in Liberia's history, and also one of the youngest people to oversee infrastructure development in this country. So when you look at a lot of the initiatives and the projects that were done under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the Mount Coffee Hydro, I was part of the negotiation team that negotiated $250 million. You look at the airport terminal, I led the team to go and get the $50 million for that. You look at the Lofa Road that's being built right now, I was part of the negotiation team. You look at the ELW to Coca-Cola Road that's being built right now, I was part of the team that were able to identify and source the money from the World Bank. You look at Somalia Drive, I oversaw implementation of that. So there's a lot of work we've been doing in this country, contributing to the development of this country. But we all know in Liberia, a lot of times people say, "Oh, but we're just hearing you." We all know in Liberia, unfortunately, in Liberia, when you don't steal plenty of government money, people don't sing your name. People don't talk about you. When you don't go on radio like I am right now and do all the mile cost, the power cost, people don't really hear your name. So what I am trying to do is to make sure that there are Liberians out there now who rise to prominence because they are doing the right thing, not because they are stealing government money, not because they are out there cussing or stealing or being violent. We have to understand that there are good Liberians in Liberia who want to see good for this country. There are good Liberians who want to build instead of break, who want to empower others, instead of only themselves. And so that's who I am. And so that's why I'm very confident when people listen to me, they listen to my platform, which I'm very excited to be talking about today on this show. When people listen to what we want to do for this country, understanding that we have the educational background, we have the energy, we have the character, very clean character. Like I said, I'm very proud to say I've negotiated hundreds of millions of dollars in this country. And not one single person will ever come and say that, "Oh, this man stole any money, this man took any bribe." It would not happen, because it would never happen. So I'm very proud to be talking about my platform and what we can do for Liberia.
Have you held any elected position before?
No, this would be my first one. So I'm very excited to take on the role of president to lead this country. What this country needs, when you talk about elected positions, a lot of times people talk about, "Oh, go serve as representative or senator." Let's be very frank. The position I served in government is higher than those positions. It has more responsibility. People say, "Oh, start from senator." No, I've been minister of state. I've negotiated hundreds of millions of dollars for this country. I've represented this country on the international scene. And so therefore, Like I said, not only do I have the education, but I also have the experience. The hardest thing to do right now is to have people understand that what this country needs, you don't need to be. We have some of the best laws in Liberia. To be very frank with you, we have some of the best laws in Liberia. There's no law in Liberia that says go rape. There's no law in Liberia that says go steal. It's the implementation and the accountability of these laws. That's the challenge that we have in this country. And you can only do that from the executive. I'm here. I'm working in Liberia. I've been back in Liberia, serving the Liberian people, not because I'm looking for a job. I'm here so that we can be part of the generation that changes and develops this country. So that's why I'm running for president, not to look for a job so I can get money. I've been blessed. I've gone to some of the best schools in the world. Again, through academic scholarships. I like to add that because when I say that, some people say, "Oh, yeah, that the Liberian government money that part took."
You're a former sports player.
Yeah, I also played professional American football in the United States. I was also, actor in Hollywood.
Okay.
I did several Hollywood movies, and so I have a wealth of experience.
You have a niche of everything.
A little niche of everything. But let me please tell you the story. In 2004 is when my pa died. He was in a car accident, as the both of you know. He was preparing to come and run run for presidency. I always say that my father, Dr. Harry Moniba, was the best president that Liberia never had. And so that at that time is when I truly and honestly committed my entire life and future to Liberia in terms of service to this country. And so that's why, it's I don't hide it from people. Since 2004, I decided that I was going to work towards becoming president of this country, not just to say I'm president, but to be the one who leads the change in this country, the transformation in this country. And so that's why, like when people ask me, and will do so, when people ask me about agriculture, or education, or healthcare, I can tell you exactly what we will do in this country to make sure that every single person, now we say we have 5.2 million people, I'll be able to tell you what we can do in this country that all 5.2 million people in this country benefits from the resources of this country.
Okay. Few years ago, there was this public outcry of a youthful leadership in terms of the presidency. And now we have someone who is seen as a youthful president. Do you think that Liberians are ready again for a youthful president?
But to that question, we don't have a youthful president. We have somebody who the youth like, but he is not a youthful president.
Why do you say that?
He's 56, 57. In what world?
And you are 40?
I'm 43. I'll be 44 tomorrow. So let me just get used to saying I'm not a youth neither. Youth, most countries is 35 and under.
Okay.
So I'm not youth. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're so young." Yes, I take it I'm young in relative terms to other people who are running, who are all in their 60s and
well.
in politics. But let's be very fair and let's look at the history of the world around. Right now, the British Prime Minister is 42 years old. They have the 5th largest economy in the world. The United States of America, President Barack Obama was 47 when he took over. Macron from France was 39 when he took over. J.J. Roberts, if we even go in Liberia's history, was 39 years old when he became the first president of Liberia. So we have to stop this mentality that somebody like me who's 44 years old is young. Like I said before, I have the experience, I have the talent, I have the vision, and I have the ability and the strength to deliver what the Liberian people need. And right now, I was talking about the fact that representatives and senators, yes, we absolutely need them in our dispensation, but they will not solve the problem.
What do you think the Liberian people need?
The Liberian people need right now infrastructure development and foreign direct investment. Those are two things that I don't think
this
it can be questioned.
government is delivering on infrastructure.
Okay, so define delivering.
So I put it to you.
Oh, you know what? First, I think, to be very frank with you, that we need to raise our expectations in this country. So when we win, we have to be talking about how can we pave all of the roads in Liberia within the first 1 year. That should be our stance. Within the first 6 years. How can we pave and connect all of the county capitals in Liberia within the first 6 years? We have to be saying, how can we become food sufficient, self-sufficient in our staple food of rice within this first 6 years? That's what we need to be doing. But what's happening right now, in Liberia, will pave one road and say, oh, that progress. It's not progress. Liberia is way behind the countries that are way behind. We need people who can come and negotiate. We need people who have negotiated. We need people who have this clean character and background, so that any room I enter in the world, people will understand that that Liberia is here for business, and Liberia is a country where you can invest your money, you can come and develop, and you'll be successful.
And how differently are you going to do all of these things you're talking about?
I think you do it by proving what you have done before. Like I said, I'm very proud to have been, one of the lead members on the team to have negotiated $250 million for the Liberian people to build Mount Coffee Hydro. I'm very proud to have said, I helped to lead the efforts to secure $50 million for the terminal. I'm very proud to say that I've helped to bring in money to this country and will continue to do so.
Okay, so it's important that we have an oversight of exactly what your entire plan is about Liberia,
Right.
The word that you are taking out there to the public, and the reasons why you believe you should be the preferred person that they should be casting their votes for.
The first thing I would say is that, and of course you guys will have other presidential candidates on the platform here. I would like for people to compare and contrast our platforms. Other people have been running for 6-7 years, for 10 years, for whatever the case is. And I'm confident to say that our vision for this country is as thought out and implementable as anybody else. So let's look at agriculture, for example. We live in a country where every single day Liberian man says he has to eat rice. Yeah, where do we get the rice from? From India, from China, from Thailand. A few months ago, when there was no rice in the country, where were we looking for rice? We kept running to Freeport to look on the water to say, when is rice coming? When we have all of the land behind us, we have all of the talent behind us, we have the resources, we have the rain, we have the soil, we're looking on the water. So what we would do in my administration is very simple. There are 15 counties in this country, and every single county will be responsible to grow something in this country. So let me be more specific. We have Lofa, which we always look at the bread basket. But Lofa, Bong, Bomi, Bapolu, Cape Mount, the western counties. What if we was to go there, we test the soil, you say these counties will grow all of the rice in this country. All of the rice that Liberian people will eat, we will make sure that these counties have mechanized farming, they have proper irrigation, and they will grow all of the rice in this country. Then we go to Nimba Granji there. We say, y'all grow all the cocoa, y'all grow all of the cassava that Liberia would need. We give them mechanized farming, we do irrigation. We go to the southeast, Bitter Boy and Pepper. We go to Bassa, we go to River Cess. We say, y'all grow all of the cattle. We will no longer go to Guinea for cow. Last year, I don't know if you know this, we imported $7 million worth of pepper from Guinea. You're trying to tell me that Liberian people cannot do that? So back to the agriculture sector, what I'm saying is that every single county will be responsible to provide for the food security of Liberians. Liberians will eat food that Liberian people grow. It's that simple, and we'll be able to raise significantly the amount of employment in this country. We will also be able to lower significantly the cost of food in this country, because we are no longer shipping it, but we are producing it here in Liberia. Let's look at education. Education right now in Liberia, let's be very fair. We are graduating high school seniors right now who can barely read and write. What we will do when God bless us and we take the leadership of presidency in this country is that immediately there will be nobody else graduating in Liberia who does not have 2 years of technical and vocational training. Your junior and senior year, yes, you will do your high school courses in the day, but after that, you would take carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, mechanic, something. So when you graduate from high school, you now have 2 years of technical and vocational training. You have a skill that you'll now be able to empower your life, and then also help to build the country.
You talk about it reading, the graduate without, knowing how to read.
Say that again?
You talk about reading, that the graduate and not knowing how to,
Right. And so that's why it's so very important to be able to give them a skill.
Okay.
If you can say, oh, I have my high school diploma in one hand, but in the other hand, you have a certificate as a carpenter that you've been training for 2 years while you're in high school. Imagine how that would transform the lives of this country, the people in this country. Imagine if you graduate high school and then you're a professional caterer or you're a professional mechanic. Immediately now, the skill level of Liberians go up. Immediately now, we don't have people going around begging for money to go to UL to be fighting for a chair to go sit down in class. We have to change the mindset and to take somebody out of poverty, they just need an opportunity. And that's what, as a government, we have to be responsible to be able to do.
What's about the quality of education?
The quality of education is extremely important. But where we have to start from when you talk about the quality of education, and that's a very good question. The quality of education, we have to start in first grade to fourth grade. Those are, by statistics, the most important years of anybody's educational career. But right now, we are sending our children to school to sit down on the dirt floors. They are hungry. The teacher is hungry. The teacher hasn't gotten paid in 2-3 months. What type of quality they will get? What type of facilities they have? Even right now, when you go to school, when you go to a school right now, you say, show me your science lab. It will be empty. You say, show me your library. There's no library. So the quality of this country is extremely poor, but you will not fix that within 1, 2, 3 years. And so that's why it's so very important to switch to skills, giving people the skills and opportunities. So as we giving people a skill, we are then slowly and gradually building the quality of education in this country, starting again from the most important years, which is pre-K, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, building the foundation of people to be able to properly read, properly write.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
when you're expanding on your plans.
Okay, yeah. So I've talked about agriculture,
education,
self-sufficiency in our staple food of rice, making sure that every single county will be responsible to grow. I've talked about education, where we talk about the fact that everybody who's graduating high school will have 2 years of technical and vocational training. I'm also even going as far as to say everybody who has already graduated can come back for at least 10 months of some type of skill development, some type of training. When you look at healthcare in this country, it's very unfortunate. And let me tell you a story. About 2 months ago, a family member of mine was sick. God bless us, we had a car. A family member of mine was sick. We jumped in the car, went to ELWA. Person is passing out in the car, throwing up. ELWA, no bed. Jump in the car, went to SOS clinic. I won't even say what happened, but just say no bed. They barely even got up. We went to Catholic, no bed. Until we got to Fidelity, that was an hour later plus. So the healthcare in this country, we are honestly living by the grace of God. There is not one single government hospital in this country right now today that has 24-hour electricity. Most of our government hospitals do not have medicine. I remember in the State of the Nation address, I think the president mentioned that, we have spent $17 million on drugs. That's no money. That's nothing. We wonder why there's no drugs in this country. We have to be able to rethink. We have to be able to retrain our nurses. We have to be able to retrain our doctors. We have to go look at Dogliati. What type of facilities are they using? Right now in Liberia, if I ask you a question, I say, I'll give you 2 options. If, God forbid, you get sick. I don't want you to say I swear. But God forbid you get sick, and I give you 2 choices. I say, you want to go to RIA, the airport, or you want to go to JFK? Which one would you choose? And how many Liberians would choose JFK? Everybody would say, give me a plane ticket to leave the country. But then more importantly, how many Liberians can afford to leave the country? Only government officials? So then again, what type of country do we have in this? What type of country are we living in?
Meaning the problem should start with the infrastructure, the quality of healthcare, then before the doctors.
Well, it's a combination of both. Because even when you build very good hospitals, if you don't have good trained doctors there, but what we have to be able to do, and this is something I regret not being able to finalize when I served as the head of the President's Delivery Unit. There is about, right now as we speak, there are 2 major hospitals in Liberia, JFK Hospital and Tapita Hospital. We have to be able to understand that we need about approximately $150 million to upgrade the both of them to regional international status, where people from Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone will be coming to Liberia, JFK and Tapita hospitals. We have to be able to identify and source that money immediately. Meaning, in the first 100 days of a presidency of my presidency, we would have to find that $150 million, because we can no longer afford to allow JFK to continue to go the way it's going. You know, people always talk about, oh, you go to JFK just to die. No, that should not be the case. One, but two, we have 73 districts in this country right now. Even though, yes, granted, I think it will probably change based on the census. But we have 73 districts in this country right now. Every single district must have at least one private public partnership with the government, so that every single person in every district can go to one hospital that will have sufficient doctors, that will have sufficient drugs, that will have electricity. Where when you go, one of my volunteers, I felt so bad one day. She was seriously sick. They rushed her to the hospital. At midnight, 12:30, they called me. I said, what are you doing? She said, oh, we're going back home. I said, why? She said, the mosquito are biting me too much.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, and what we have to be able to do, listen, money is not hard to get. What's hard to implement is the plans and policies, and to have somebody who has the vision and love for the country more than they love themselves. Liberia does not lack money. The international community does not lack money to support Liberia. They have to have trust in the people who are in the positions of power. They have to have a clear plan from people who are in the positions of power. And then, and only then, will money start to come into the country, and then we'll start to do it and use it right.
Are you saying the international community do not trust this government?
But the minute I said I knew you were going to follow, so you're a very good journalist. No, I'm saying that we need more development into this country, and we have to be able to give them reasons why to do so. And so we have to get better at doing that. Having people who know how to go to the international community and negotiate and articulate their vision, and to be able to sit down with anybody. I've been blessed. I've sat with President Barack Obama for hours talking, Bill Clinton for hours, Tony Blair for hours, talking about national development, talking about infrastructure development, talking about human resources and life. We've had these conversations. I've sat with the World Bank president for hours as well. We've had these conversations at a high level.
Okay.
What Liberia needs now, and that's why sometimes when people say, oh, representative or senator, no. Liberia needs an executive who knows how to sit in any room around the world and negotiate on behalf of the Liberian people and bring real money to this country, so that we can finally and truly and once and for all develop and build this country.
Does it mean when Liberians elect you, there'll be bread and butter in the country?
There better be bread and butter in this country, but more importantly, there will be rice in this country, because we'll be growing our own rice. That's what we have to do. We have to have a singular focus in major things. Like I said, in healthcare, every single district will rehabilitate at least one major clinic or hospital in every single district where people can be proud to go. In agriculture, we'll be growing our own rice. In road development, we'll connect all of the county capitals in Liberia in the first 6 years. That's the goal.
Now, these plans are all cost intensive, and there are competing priorities that the government has. And your government will also meet these challenges on hand. How do you intend to leverage all these challenges that we have as a country vis-a-vis what you want to do and the resources that are needed to have these plans implemented?
A lot of the challenges I've talked about are the priorities. Healthcare is an extreme priority in Liberia. So I've told you, what we'll do around the country and what we'll do for our two biggest hospitals. Education is the extreme priority in this country. Another thing that's really killing us in this country is corruption. And so I'll turn the question and ask you, how many people in Liberia have gone to jail in the last 5 years for corruption? And then I'll go further, in the last 10 years, and then 15 years, and then 20 years, and then 30 years. Nobody goes to jail in Liberia for corruption. But yet we always say we must stop corruption. The only way to stop corruption in Liberia is to ensure that people go to jail, and then we go to their homes and they pay restitution. We go to their homes, we go to their various properties and land, and we sell it back. And that proceeds and that money goes back to government, so that we can be able to build better houses, better schools for the people of Liberia. We have to be very clear how we want to live our life. And so that's why, in corruption, like I said, nobody goes to jail. What do we say in this country? Liberia, that elephant meat. take your own. You know, I'm proud to say again, I've served at some of the highest levels of positions in this country, being the youngest cabinet member in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's government. And not one single person, I can beat my chest anytime, not one single person will ever come to me or ever say, oh, here, I get him more money. It can't happen because it never happened. And it will never happen. We have to be able to fight corruption. That's why asset declaration is so important. Before I take the seat of president, everybody will know the account I have in this country. Everybody will know all of the land me and my family has. Those are the type of level of things we have to be able to have the Liberian people do. If you want to serve Liberia, tell the Liberian people what you have. You can't go play with Liberian people money and say, well, I can't tell you what I have. No. We have to be able to do asset declaration for every single presidential appointee, that every single year it will be updated. You will tell us every year what you have.
You were privileged to sit around the high table during the administration of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and you were privy to a lot of information. Considering your experiences over the time, what are some of those pieces of advice you think you gave? Some of the decisions you believe that she made that were not so correct and not in the interest of the state, and some of the things you think she got wrong that you want to right now?
I to be honest with you, and what I always tell people, it's not like I'm running from that question, but I think what's important right now for me to be able to talk about what I want to do for the Liberian people.
Yeah, it also has to be based on what you've done in terms of decision making in the past.
No, absolutely. But at the end of the day, right, we have a country right now where there's mistakes happening right now in this government. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I need to be able to tell people, because if I'm start talking about what this government is doing so much, I'm selling them. I came to sell myself.
Okay,
I came to sell my platform.
Right.
You know, so what I do know is that we have to identify more money in infrastructure development. The two things that are killing us right now in this country is roads, the lack of roads, and lack of electricity. So I was talking about my platform. Even when we talk about the electricity sector, let's be very fair. You know, I was chairman of LEC for a certain point in time, again, the youngest ever. We are not going to be able to take the national grid to Sino, to Grand Cru, for example. It's too cost intensive. So as a result, as a government, what we must be talking about right now is how can we identify solar kits, 1 million solar kits to be able to bring into the country, so that a house, a village, you know, in River G that has 20 homes, at least you'll be able to take one solar kit and put it there. Now they can buy fan. Now they can have small light, because you're not going to run a $2 million solar grid infrastructure to 20 homes, but you can take a solar kit. So this is what we have to be able to do. So when you talk about some of the mistakes, you know, going back to your question, these are some things that we have to be able to do better, be able to bring access, quality of life to the people. In Liberia, when you go around the country, and I've been doing so the last few years now, really speaking to people, trying to galvanize support. Some people are living today like it's 1822. And so think about that. Today, in 2023, people are living like it's 1822. If you go to somebody's house, they're cooking on the fire. Using coal. Sleeping on a mud house. There's no current, no AC, no nothing. What's the difference? They're going out to the backyard to farm, and they got hook that was used 200 years ago. What's the difference? You're trying to tell me Liberia has not progressed for 200 years? That's why I'm running, to present to the Liberian people a new breed of leadership. We keep saying, oh, we want to change the country. If we want to change the country, you change the type of people you elect. You elect people like me who have the clear education, the clear vision, the clear platform, and the clean character. That's what Liberian people need to do.
What kind of president in an environment like ours, a society like ours, so to speak, where decisions are mostly made on the basis of people's political alignments? What kind of president do you want to be, with all of these competing alignments and interests existing, where people who go to the house are normally tilted towards the vision of the person who sits in the executive mansion? What kind of different president do you want to be?
Well, you know, I'm running for president It's simple because I want to leave a legacy.
Okay.
You know, the history I want to make is not only to say, oh, I won presidency. That's not the history I'm looking for. The history, to be very frank with you and fair with you, the history I'm trying to make is so the day I die, people can stand over my body and say, yes, during Moneybat time is when we built some of the best roads in Africa. During Moneybat time is when we have some of the best hospitals in Africa. That's the legacy I'm trying to make, you know, and that's the legacy I'm going to leave. You know, this journey that we're on is a very long and hard journey. But like I told you when I first sat down, nobody is ever going to give you something. Only Liberians will fix Liberia. Only Liberians will fix Liberia. And we have to agree that at one point in our history, Liberia will be a great country.
Okay. Now, folks, be reminded that we have in studio the standard bearer of the Liberia National Union.
Political leader.
Yeah. Okay. So, political leader. Yeah. I mean, there is always be on my back for this thing, but he's the political leader of the Liberia National Union, Dr. Clarence Monimba. He's our guest on the program. Now, there are lots of issues that Liberia as a country is confronted with, and we are going to elections. You are from the opposition bloc. There has been this call for an opposition collaboration. What is your take on opposition parties coming together?
You know, there will be a time for that, but it's not now. It's a second round.
A second round.
The second round.
Oh, so you are faced on going strictly as
let everybody show their strength. Listen, for me, the only thing our challenge right now as an institution, as a local party, as me as a candidate, is for people to hear me talk.
Okay,
that's it. I represent 85% of the demographics in this country. I believe I have the most direct and clear platform. I have the experience. I have the education. I have everything you need to be able to transform this country. So let me test myself.
Okay.
Let everybody test themselves. In the second round, whoever makes it to the second round, let the opposition rally around that person. So there's absolutely no reason to be saying, oh, you come here because I got strength. Let everybody show them their strength on October 10th.
The argument is they just opposition wants a one-round victory.
It's impossible. Let's stop that talk.
Okay.
It's impossible to get a one-round victory when you need 50% plus one. It's impossible. It's not going to happen.
Perhaps that's why they are rallying support for one opposition.
It's impossible. Well, you know what? I support that idea. Let everybody, let the older people who are running, let everybody who is running, let them support.
You're the new guy. You want to stand on your own. You want to identify your strength.
Well, yeah, let's identify strengths. Listen, if the opposition could rally around to get together, that would be great.
Okay.
But just from a realistic standpoint, I don't see so, because as much as I believe I'm going to win, I tell people, listen, history is going to be made. So as much as I believe I'm going to win, other people say, oh man, that's your first time, maybe next time. So let me prove my ability to try to win. But I'm sure other people who have been around, they feel like, it's their time.
Okay.
So let everybody, if we all don't gather around, because for me, to be fair with you and to be honest with you, I believe that our generation, the people, and I think both of y'all are under 45 years old, I believe our generation should take leadership in this country. But I'm saying, don't just vote for me because I'm young. Vote for me because I'm young, I'm educated, I'm qualified, I have clean character, and I have the vision. That's why I'm telling you to vote for me. And so that's the message I'm telling to all the Liberian people.
What reactions are you getting from all of your visits across Liberia? What are the people saying to you?
To be honest with you, I've been extremely happy with it. Of course, you will get some negative things. People, you will get some negatives. I'm not going to sit here and say everybody, but I'm very happy with what we've been. When I go places and people hear my message,
the average reaction,
is
it positive
is
or negative?
Extremely positive.
Okay.
If it wasn't, to be honest with you, we've been doing this thing for a year. I just didn't wake up last month and say, "Oh, I'm running for president." No, I told you since 2004, my plan has been to prepare myself to run for presidency. I just didn't know exactly when. And then over the last year and a half, we've been moving around the country talking to people, and we know for a fact we've done several polls. That's why I have the confidence that I can win this thing.
Okay.
If people like you gather around and support me, and I won't get you in trouble just again. But listen, if it's very simple. I have not gone anywhere to speak and I move from there. People say this man can't do the job. It just can't happen. God bless me in that way. I have the ability to be able to do that. That's why I was so successful working in government. That's why I was successful in helping to bring millions of dollars for this country. There's no room I can walk in the world.
The name Monimba, is it from Lofa County?
Lofa County.
Lofa County.
Yeah.
So, how do you see a positive outcome for Lofa County, knowing that we have a former vice president
who's also from Lofa
County?
I'm not running to be Lofa president.
But
so
you
need
support.
I have my constituency. I have my constituency. I have a listen. Everybody is going to get support. Okay. And I have my constituency. I'm not going to come here and break it down into tribal affiliations, but I have a strong constituency in Lofa that I'm proud of, simply because, and a lot of people, to be frank with you, will support me because of the work my father did in this country. Not even, before they even go to.
Have you received a call from the former vice president who say, "My son, come and support me, and I will lift your hand up the next round"? Next time.
Listen, he's my uncle.
Have you had conversation?
I've had conversation. Listen, we say opposition, but I respect the former vice president very well. Again, we worked under the same administration. I respect him. He's my uncle, just like I respect every other opposition. But at the end of the day, you have to do what you think is right for your country.
Okay. Have you spoken to the president? Have you had conversation with the president?
No, I haven't spoken.
Do you intend to have a conversation with him?
I'm not fighting with anybody else.
No, I mean, these are political times.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, what I think the conversations I want to have is how we move Liberia forward. I continue to say, and I'll say it again, there are good Liberians in this country who want to see good for this country. I'm one of those Liberians. So I'm willing to talk to anybody. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let somebody minimize me because, oh, you're young. I'm not going to let somebody minimize me because, oh, you just got your first time running, so wait more. No. Liberia does not have time to wait.
And how we move Liberia forward is also a possible collaboration. So perhaps the ruling establishment could collaborate with you to move Liberia forward.
Maybe, but right now, let me please keep me in my opposition camp, okay? Don't try to bring me over to that side. Just keep me in my opposition camp right now.
Okay, let's go to the lines right now. 077 105 100 555 105 100. Dr. Clarence Monimba is the political leader of the Liberia National Union and the son of former Vice President Harry Monimba.
The only thing I will say, sometimes when people call in, there's some questions and suggestions that I have to answer immediately. So if we're gonna answer calls, I'm fine with that. But sometimes, I need immediate reply to immediate stuff.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel, and good morning to the next president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Clarence Monimba. My name is Kelvin Adonis Vola, and I joined the conversation from...
My man, straight from PRP to Lanu.
Listen, that's why it's very important. The decision that was made by the People's Liberation Party was not in conformity with the leadership of the party, and all of us have a right to support whom we believe in. But we will have the time to expand on that decision. But one key thing that I want to say, Fidel, when Dr. Clarence was speaking, what people can normally say in Liberia, cold bomb, it started catching my body because you know what? This man knows exactly what Liberians need right now. And that is the reason why some of us have decided, and when he said there are people in this country that love the country, he's number one. I want to say I am number two. Based on that, we want to support him. We are calling on people who genuinely love this country to support Dr. Clarence Monimba. And before I drop the line,
quickly,
this is the situation in our country where people will consistently want to narrow you because, quote unquote, they feel they have been in the process. And this is what some of us have decided to
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's take another person here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
My name is Diane Howard. I call from Batmansville.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank God. And I followed your father, who still rest in peace, Dr. Harry Monimba. At the time, I was a part with him as a journalist. I was a radio director. When he was then residing at the Halabibi Hotel. I asked him the question then, and I want to ask you the same question. I asked him, you have become the past president was that you were vice president for Liberia. In fact, we went in the display camp when all people in the display camp and they asked him, Mr. Maniba, Dr. Maniba, you were vice president, did not play our role. And he answered by saying, I was not vice president for Lufa, I was vice president for Nigeria. That also did not work out well with the people just together. Well, and I really admire you, to be frank. Can you really elaborate on some of these things? These are some of the things that will be coming up when you go out to run campaigns. They want to, most of the group your father did will not be discussing that. We will be looking for some of those technical things or maybe slightly negative. Can you address some of these things?
Okay. All right. Are those one of the questions you want to answer immediately? Okay.
I did. Get the last part again. Sorry, you broke up at the very end. Say that last part.
So
again
he was saying, if when you go out there, he was just making a statement. You should expect that people will say to you some of the negative things your father did, and you should be more fixated on the positive ones.
Yeah, again, the reason why I start off every conversation by proudly saying who my father is because I've been working in government circles now for the last 15 years, from the U.S., American, Liberian Embassy to the United Nations, everywhere. Now one person has come to me and say your father stole money. I'm proud of that. Okay. Now one person has come and say your father told him to kill someone. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the work he has done, and I will continue to be.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, ABC. Good morning to the well-learned presidential hopeful of the Republic of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
This is the voice of Samuel Sakara Johnson, and I speak to you as the chair of the disenchanted majority partisan of the People's Liberation Party.
Mm.
And let me appreciate Dr. Clarence Moniba. And I think there are some fundamental issues or questions that I personally ask myself. What is the fundamental or what are some of the most important things that we think Liberians deserve? Or what is the kind of a leadership that Liberia deserves? And with the track record of Dr. Clarence Moniba, we can say to you, and that is the reason why the majority of black people, as soon as possible, that we will hit the media, we will be endorsing officially Dr. Clarence Moniba. Look, it is not just about prescription of policy, but how are you going to implement this kind of a policy? This is the only presidential candidate that has the fundamental understanding of the governance system of the country, and I told you how you will improve the education sector, how you will improve the agriculture sector.
Okay, thank you. Let's take another person. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel Saydee and Saydee.
Good morning.
David E. Harrison, I call from Benson Street. Mr. Moliba, I just want to thank you for your platform, and I like the way you do your politics. You don't attack personality, you deal with the issue.
Speak out a bit louder, please.
You don't attack personality, you deal with the issue exclusively. But my question to you, why is it you never try to represent the people of local country at the representative level or the Senate level in the presidency? Thank you.
Okay, apparently he was not following the conversation. But let's take another person here. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Fidel.
Good morning.
Yeah, and let me say good morning to your sister. Yeah, Fidel, this is Jerome Duty.
Mm.
Good morning, Dr. Clara Mortimer. I say pre-happy birthday to you first of all.
Thank
you very much for your exclusive recognition when you told the laboratory state cabinet. Dr. Clara, you know there is no youth that will be in a country that will not vote for you under no circumstance because of what I've said and because of your age again, number one. I pray that you will continue to say what you are saying and you will live by it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. Okay. Thank you to your fellow guest.
Just lower the volume. Yeah.
Thank you for your platform. I listen to you very well. You have very proven to Liberian people that you understand the actual meaning of becoming a leader. Many people say you also like grandfathers, you also like grandfathers. But for your presentation, I think, from my own understanding, I think you read it.
Okay.
85% of the Liberian population right now, we are youth, and we will not say to allow the older work for us. But the end will make sure you become our leader, comparison. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fidel.
Thank you. This can wait. Let's take one or two more calls and then we'll call it a day right here on the program. 077710510 0555105 But let's get to Dr. Monimba.
You know, it's when you come on radio and you start talking, and I do radio. Yesterday I did Bong and Cape Mountain, and the day before I do radio almost every single day.
Okay.
And you come on the radio. The reason I said sometimes I want to respond directly, because you never know what calls you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I was on radio and one of our opposition blocks set for me.
Oh.
And I always say set for me. So that's why I like to address the issues when they come up. I do it so it's not like, I get, oh, okay, my man, I'm going to be on the phone at this time. Everybody call, to make it look good. No, I really want to hear what the Liberian people say. And the reason I do that is because I'm confident that anybody who listens to me and listens to my platform, they listen to my passion for this country. They look at my history. They look at my qualifications. They will support me. They're forced to. That's why I can say you're not forced, but you compare. So, but listen, I'm very proud, and Kelvin called earlier, and he is one of the young people, and he'll be running district number 8 of Maserado. He is one of the young people who have come with energy and passion for this country. I keep saying that Liberia will be built by Liberians. Nobody else is going to come fix this country. They can only help. United States of America can only help us. World Bank can only help us. Great Britain can only help us. Liberians must do their job. And so what I'm doing is leading this new generation of leaders, this new breed of leaders, people who want to be able to stand up and say, during our time is when we made Liberia the country it's supposed to be. So that's what, that's really my passion right now. Somebody asked me, about the representative job, being a representative. Again, I would say, just in case the person missed, the positions I've served, thankfully, in government is, let's be very frank, is higher than representative. It's even higher than senators. They don't have the ability or the power to go and negotiate on behalf of Liberia. They don't have the ability or power to go and represent Liberia. I've had that opportunity, at a very young age. When I was in my 30s, I was going to negotiate deals for hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm proud of that. And that's the experience and that's the ability now I want to bring to the executive of this country. Representatives, senators, they are what they are, lawmakers. They're not implementers. And the challenge in this country is that we do not implement and we don't hold people accountable. You can only do that from the executive, and that's why I'm running for president.
Okay. You've exhausted all of the callers' concerns. So we got to go now, but let's hear from you. Going forward, what sort of conversation do you want to have with Liberians and political actors, those who are involved in the election? First of all, what are you doing about this voter registration thing? Any awareness campaign from your party?
We're doing a lot of voter awareness. We're going to be traveling around the country, having rallies and mass rallies, and engaging with people to tell people, you vote for me or not. What's more important is that you vote. And you don't vote because somebody brings you a bag of rice. The bag of rice will last you 1 month. I was out of the country for a few days. When I got back to the airport, one of the people said, "Oh, Dr. Monimba, I will vote for you." They were working there, so they can't whisper it to me. I said, "Oh, thank you." I took a few more steps. Somebody else came to me. "Oh, Dr. Monimba, I will vote for you." I said, "Oh, thank you very much." So I then made a joke. I said, "Oh, don't change your photo." And they were like, "Oh, if you leave me small, I'll change it." So the thing about Liberia, and what we have to be able to do in this country, is to be able to understand that if I spoke again on Sunday, I went and spoke to two different places. I went to go speak to 2 different places on Sunday. So while getting in the car, how Liberia is, the car gets surrounded by hundreds of people. Everybody, please help me. Which is, the country is tough. So I don't blame them for looking for support. But somebody was yelling in the background, "Man, if you leave the ground dry, I won't vote for you." So, I'm running for president, not because I have money, but because I have passion and vision and love for the country. That's why I'm running for president. So, honestly, thank you very much. I love to see young professional people behind the mic helping to build and have civil conversations as we all build our country. So thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so much.
turning up to our invitation. Dennise, how do we go?
We are going, and on tomorrow is the birthday of Liberia's vice president, right? So it's a holiday.
Yeah, it's a holiday tomorrow. So we'll take a break on that holiday and then come back fresh Thursday morning for another presentation of the Morning Breeze. Until then, do have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Okay.